I said it last year. We're not here just to take part. We're here to take over.
Whether you love him or hate him, it's undeniable that Conor McGregor's charisma made him incredibly popular, with 5 of the top 6 pay-per-views in MMA history. So in this video, we'll break down some common patterns from his most savage moments, why they made him so popular, and even how you can adapt some of the psychology into your own life. The first common theme you'll see in many of Conor's most popular moments is he projects a self-confidence that many fans admire.
Look into my eyes, little man. Little Brazilian. Ooh, vamos, hey. You've got nothing to say face to face.
Some might see Conor's popularity as evidence that people are drawn to jerks, but that isn't the case. What people are drawn to is that he has self-generated self-esteem.
The shit what people say. I never did, I never do.
That's easy enough to say, but as an example, watch his reaction when he hears one of his opponents say they don't like him.
God, I do shit. I've never disliked somebody that much that I'm ever fought. I've never disliked somebody that much that I'm ever fought.
Most people worry about being liked, sometimes even hiding parts of themselves, hoping to make a better impression. In contrast, Conor is unapologetically himself. His speech after winning the lightweight belt is a great example of this.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
In your own life, being unapologetic 24/7 is a recipe for disaster. But many people will say I'm sorry for things that aren't their fault or that they don't think were wrong, just to try to people please or avoid conflict. It's an exaggerated scene, but sadly, too many relationships look like stews from The Hangover.
And make sure to call me right when you get to the hotel, not like that conference in Phoenix. I had to wait 2 hours for you to call me.
Yeah, I was the keynote speaker. I was late to the podium.
Still?
Yeah, you're totally right. I'm sorry. What is the matter?
Taking ownership when you've screwed up is a great way to keep relationships and even earn respect, but apologizing just to avoid conflict is a surefire way to lose respect from people. Another reason some people love Conor's trash talk is because he'll say and do things they wouldn't have the courage to do themselves. The absence of fear when most people would be afraid tends to earn you respect. Conor projects fearlessness in 3 ways. The most obvious one is he talks about it.
You're afraid we fouled him?
Afraid with Aldo? I fear no man. I've said this before, if you breathe oxygen, it's fair game. I will come and take you out. I don't fear nothing.
This is the easiest to do, but also the least convincing to other people. Conor also does things most people would be afraid to do, like stealing the belt from a man that hadn't lost a fight in 10 years. The third way to convey fearlessness is with your body language. In the face of confrontation, Conor keeps his shoulders back, his head up, and his eyes locked on whoever is challenging him. This is a nice habit to build because in addition to making you look more confident, getting yourself to stand up straight with your shoulders back and your chin up will actually make you feel more confident in the moments that would normally make you nervous. Another thing that Conor does that projects confidence when trash talking is maintaining the spotlight until he decides to let it go. For example, watch him here with Chad Mendes. Chad tries to cut him off multiple times, but Conor keeps talking as if Chad isn't there.
He's too small. He's too small. It's as simple as that. The power to go along with the precision will absolutely demolish him.
You're cutting too much weight.
He has a few scrambles in him, and then he will break. Then I'm going to pick him apart.
Cutting someone off is a subtle display of power. If it's allowed to happen, the person who got cut off is deferring to the person who interrupted them. Here's another example with Cowboy Cerrone where Conor's talking about moving up in his weight class.
That 155 division, and I see them all stuck in the mud in there. So Conor, we'll see over time. But guess what? Have I been wrong yet? Have I been wrong yet? No.
This does not mean you should go around shouting over other people, but it does mean you'll generate more respect and show more confidence if you don't let other people cut you off. The best way to handle this is to finish your sentence without trailing off whenever someone tries to cut you off. That way you can still have a free-flowing conversation and people can interrupt, but you aren't instantly yielding the floor anytime someone interrupts you. The last way Conor projects confidence in his trash talk is by giving specific predictions for his fights.
That's what I see the fight playing out. I feel him overreacting, overextending, and then being KO'd unconscious.
I said I'd knock him out in the first round, and I knocked him out in the first round. You can call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things. And Mystic Mac predicts I'm gonna KO you inside 1 round.
Most fighters, when asked to predict their fights, say something vague like, I think it'll be a great fight, or I think I'm going to knock him out. There's nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't make a statement. Conor's predictions built a mystique around him and made people want to watch to see if he was right. This is something Muhammad Ali was famous for, and since Conor is a huge Ali fan, I think it's probable that Ali was his inspiration for making these types of predictions.
Well, Henry Cooper's nothing but a tramp. He's a bum. I'm the world's greatest. He must fall in 5 rounds, but if you talk about me, I'll cut it 3.
We're not encouraging you to do this, but it's worth noting, making bold specific predictions is all upside. If you get it right, people think you're a genius, but if you get it wrong, people don't hold it against you. That's why political pundits, sports analysts, and stock pickers do this all the time. So don't trust someone just because they got a guess right about the future. They likely have a bunch of misses you haven't seen. Mystic Mac himself was way off on both of his Diaz predictions, but predictably, it didn't hurt his popularity at all. Now, it's worth mentioning that at the height of his fame, Conor's confidence actually started getting him into trouble, because it morphed into a false sense that he could do no wrong.
When you can rack up $400 million in revenue for the company in back-to-back events, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm living the whatever the fuck I want life. That's the life I live. Whatever I want.
This eventually led to a downward spiral for Conor where he threw a dolly at a bus, sucker punched an old man in the side of the head, and got into a bunch of civil lawsuits. The second common theme from Conor's most popular Savage moments is he is an expert at using humor to his advantage. The obvious benefit of this is that fans like him because he makes them laugh.
These custom-made suits aren't cheap. You know what I mean? This solid gold pocket watch, 3 people died making this watch, you know what I mean?
But his humor has another benefit. By making other people laugh at you, he's hoping to get in your head and make you lose composure in the fight. One way he'll do this is by throwing a spotlight on your insecurities.
His chin is deteriorating. Every single contest he gets in, he hits one knee. He does a gust of wind and he does the chicken dance, you know what I mean?
Once he finds a weakness that seems to hit home, he'll often double down on it.
I'm really coming along as a fighter, and I feel like I'm hitting my stride right now, and it couldn't be better.
You get wobbled in every fight, Dustin. Every fight. You get dropped to one knee in every fight. Every single fight you get dropped to one knee.
Nah.
Another common tactic Conor will use to get his opponent angry is to trash talk where you're from.
If this was a different time, I would invade his favela on horseback and kill anyone that was not fit to walk. But we are in a new time, so I'll whoop his ass in July.
Don't get me wrong, I like the kid. He's a quiet little hillbilly from the back ass of nowhere. You know, I've nothing against the guy, you know what I mean? I'm sure he grew up in a circus or a fair, you know, he's a nice little kid.
Both of these are standard bullying tactics, and most people will look down on you if you're not a prize fighter. That said, Conor does this on purpose because he thinks it makes his opponents fight worse. Here he talks about the toll of this mental warfare on Jose Aldo.
Every single movement I make will get an overreaction off of him because he's emotionally invested in it. There's too much in it for him. It's all piling on him. So I feel if I just go, he will react 1,000,000 times.
In fighting, winning is everything, and while winning, Conor's worst behaviors were forgiven. But most of us aren't fighters, and unlike Conor, we want people to like us. So in your own life, do the opposite of Conor and aim to take shots that will make people laugh along with you. The best way to do this is to tease something the person isn't sensitive about. For example, watch Floyd Mayweather's reaction when Conor compares the two of them.
28 years of age, I'm getting fight checks and promoter checks. When Floyd was 28, he was on Oscar De La Hoya's undercard.
Floyd has made over $1 billion, so he isn't worried about how he was doing at 28 years old. Now, all that said, Conor does have another way he uses humor that can work well for anyone almost any time. He uses humor to dictate the frame of a conversation. Here's a quick example after Conor is asked a question at a press conference.
Who do you think would give you the hardest fight out of anybody on stage?
Right here. Right here, the hardest hitting 145 pound, the real hardest hitting 145er right here. This guy TKOs people. When I knock people out, they don't move.
Obviously, he's trying to establish the frame that the best fighter is the one that hits hardest. And you can tell from his little smirk at the end, he's thinking, I got Conor on that one. Watch how Conor responds.
They're not, who the is that guy? Who the is that? You know damn well who I am. Who the is that?
Conor uses humor to completely dismiss Jeremy without having to address his argument. The best part is, Conor later admitted this reframe wasn't even true.
Of course I knew who Jeremy was. You know, Jeremy was a good fighter. Was a former lightweight, then down into the featherweight division. Good power in his hands.
When you're being insulted, taking control of frame to dismiss the other person is great. But when talking with or about people from your friend group, your other option is to go with a positive reframe. Here's a great example where Eddie Alvarez tries to insult Conor's coach.
He's an author. He's an author of a book. A best-selling book. We do it all. We do it all. It's a bestseller.
By having positive reframes, you'll get the benefit of making people laugh and make the subject of the joke like you more. So more often than not, you're better off making jokes that have a positive punchline. This is true for jokes about other people and for jokes about yourself. One quick thing, it's important to remember when talking about Conor's savage moments, a major factor of Conor's appeal was he backed up his trash talk with dominant victories and exciting fights. Some of his most savage moments happened to be in the octagon.
Hands at his hips, having a conversation, looking to finish the fight. That's it. Wow. Jose Aldo Jr. Conor relaxed and smiling. Oh, no! He slapped him! He's getting loose, getting better here in this round, though.
Oh, man.
Until that.
Oh, he's done. He's done.
History has been made!
It's also important to recognize that Conor wasn't disrespectful all the time. He was always respectful after the fight, which gives the impression that a lot of the pre-fight stuff was just for show.
Honestly, I feel for Jose. He's a phenomenal champion. He was a phenomenal champion. We deserved to go a little bit longer. That toughness and that durability that he has crept back in the later rounds, but I'm still happy to come away with the win. It's a hell of a fight. He's a hell of a competitor, brought out the best in me. He was making me throw and he was patient with his shots. I've got to give him nothing but respect. Fair play to him. Great career he's had.
Showing respect after the fight framed his trash talk as a fun act rather than a real representation of Conor as a person. That changed a little bit with the Khabib fight when Conor's trash talk had a lot more anger in it. If he'd won, he might have revealed it was an act and been humble and respectful, but we'll never know. And as is, it soured some Conor fans because his funny, lighthearted jokes started to blur the line into arrogance. But in his next fight, he was back to showing respect.
What a phenomenal legacy Donald has, and it's an honor to share the octagon with that man. Seriously, I mean that.
This template is a solid one to follow in your own social life. At the start, it's great to be fun and funny, focusing on poking fun and making people laugh. But if you don't switch over to being genuine at some point later in the interaction, you're less likely to form real connections with people. Beyond his trash talk and flashy wins, Conor's incredible success is also due to the fact that he advocates for himself and explicitly asks for what he wants. Here are a few quick examples from throughout his career.
Dana, 60 G's, baby! What's next for me is I'm gonna go backstage, sit down with Mr. Lorenzo Fertitta, toast some fine-ass whiskey, and talk about football stadiums next. Football stadiums and world titles, that's what I want.
But I have my eye on that 155 division, and I see them all stuck in the mud in there.
I'm looking around, I don't know what anyone else has for me around here. I might have to jump up and drag Floyd Mayweather out bed and see what the he's at again.
By contrast, look at what Thiago Santos said through a translator after losing a close split decision to John Jones that many people thought he won.
No, I'm just thankful. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank GFG. I want to thank American Top Team, Dan Lambert, Cattell, Makahawa, all my team. You know, this was a chance given to a very poor boy from the city of God, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity.
That level of gratitude is fantastic to have. It makes him extremely likable and is probably great for his happiness. Unfortunately, because of it, Thiago lost out on a ton of money and another chance to fight for the belt. He didn't have to go full Conor and insult John, but it would have helped him a lot to call for a rematch after such a great performance. This has huge real-world parallels. PayScale surveys show only 37% of workers ask for raises, but 70% of employees who do ask for a raise are given one. And in dating, obviously you're much more likely to go out with someone if you have the confidence to ask them out. If the idea of advocating for yourself and asking for what you want makes you nervous, I recommend checking out our course, Charisma University. In my opinion, it's the absolute fastest way to build deep confidence. We actually guarantee it'll make you more confident and charismatic in just 30 days, or you can get your money back. Over 5,000 people have joined the program. Here's what just a few of them have had to say. Before CU, I sucked at having conversations and I had low confidence around people, but I am way more confident now having gone through the daily action guides, and I can see a big difference in the intention and respect that I get. It makes life so much more fun. I don't think it's an overstatement to say Charisma is literally a gateway to getting anything you want in life. So thank you for making Charisma University. Another member wrote, after completing only just a few CU modules, my biggest breakthrough has been gaining more confidence. Just starting the course gave me the confidence that I can improve. If you knew me a year ago, you'd see a socially awkward guy, but that same guy had hidden confidence and charisma that has now been unleashed. I can't wait to see how much more I can grow as I complete the other modules. If you're reading this or listening right now, think about who you want to be in a year. This course will teach you how to be that person. And this last one comes from a guy who says CU helped his dating life. He says, firstly, loving the course. I have cherry-picked a few things, for example, the filter lesson in the conversation model. This one lesson completely changed my life. I've liked a girl for over a year, but never thought much of it because I thought she was too pretty. Took your lessons, gave things a shot, and now we're dating. CU comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee, which is 100% for any reason whatsoever. And it's 60 days, even though the course is only 30 days, just to make sure there's absolutely no risk on your part at all. Either you become more confident and charismatic, or you get every single penny back. If this interests you and you want to unlock your confidence and charisma, click the link on screen or in the description below to find out more about Charisma University. Either way, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you do join Charisma University, I look forward to seeing you inside.